Hi, I'm Gene McLoughlin. I'd like to welcome you to Old Bridge Outlook with Mayor Owen Henry. On this program, the mayor has a chance to talk to you about important things taking place in the township. Today, our special guest is Himanshu Shah, who is not only the business administrator, but he is also the director of finance for the township. Our topic will be the recently passed 2022 township budget. Himanshu, welcome.
Thank you, Gene.
Good to have you, Mayor. Good
Thanks,
to see you
Gene.
today.
Good to see you again. Thank you for having us today.
Well, today's an important day, Mayor.
It always is.
We're
The budget,
talking-
as you know, Gene, the budget is probably one of the most important roles the mayor, his function that I have to do every year is present a budget. And we've been very successful over the past years, and this year is no exception. I think going through the budget process, it's a great litmus test and to see how the town is doing. And as I said many years, a town that can't take care of itself can't take care of its residents. So I think this year we've been successful again. We've been able to maintain all our services, but at the same time improve our services, but yet with a minimal impact on our taxpayers. Mm-hmm. And you see towns that have to reduce services or cut services and raise taxes are going in the wrong direction. I can honestly say, and with a lot of justification, we are going in the right direction here in Old Bridge, despite all the challenges that we faced in 2021 and 20. Coming off a year and presenting a budget to the council that was approved. It was a lot of work. So it's very important to me that we maintain the caliber of
the quality
of our finances. Mr. Shah and I take it very seriously.
Yes, we do.
And as I said, it's probably the most important role and function I have as a mayor.
Right. Okay, Mayor, thank you. Himanshu, if I may ask you to talk the magic words, what is the township budget for 2022?
Well, in terms of numbers, the total budget is $60.2 million, and the tax is about $36 million. And we'll go into detail to that, but that's the total budget. I think it's very important to remember that municipal tax now represents 19% of total taxes collected.
Right.
If you go back to 2013, municipal tax was 21%.
Right.
So, and other agencies were lower than before. Now, all other agencies, the school, fire districts, county, they're getting more share of taxes than municipality do. So we're down from 21% to 19%.
But Mayor, it's interesting that you as the mayor and Himanshu as the finance manager, you only control really
the 19 cents
of that $60.2 million.
But we have the honor of collecting 100%.
Yes.
And whether we collect 100% or not, we have to pay all those other agencies their full amount. And we get no processing fee, which I think isn't fair. But so we handle, $180 million come in, and we get to keep 35 million of it.
Okay.
So it doesn't make any sense, but that's the process that's in place, and we make the best of it.
Okay, if I may, yes, Himanshu.
It is a statutory process. So it's important to realize that this is not something that town mayor or council decide. Mm-hmm. It's under the state statute how we budget, how we collect tax, and how we distribute to other agencies. It is required under the law.
And Himanshu, this is a long planning process, really, isn't it? To get a budget together. What does it take?
It's an 8-month process to start to finish, basically. But it's really a year-round process. Mm-hmm. We just passed the budget. The finance department is already starting new 2023 budget process.
Yes, sir.
They're starting to do the projections to get ready. But technically, the budget process starts with the department submitting their budget request, and then Mayor and I will review them with the departments a number of times through the year, end of the year. So it starts in August of prior year.
Really?
And it ends in April or May of current year, depending on how state finally certifies the budget.
Himanshu, with the department managers, do you work from the bottom up or from the top down? How do you do it?
Basically, we'll work bottom up. The department submits their request of what they need based on the historical trend, as well as current and future needs.
Right.
They review all of those things in putting together their request. There's their new program they add into the request that was discussed previously, either public, by council. So looking at all, they put together the budget. Now under the state statute, municipal budget is a line item budget, basically.
Yes, sir.
So, historical trend and what, impact going forward is important.
Okay. Himanshu, can you discuss a little bit this energy receipt tax? What is that? And where does that play a role in this?
It's one of my key subject, and
Okay.
I always love to explain everybody to understand.
Yes, sir.
The energy tax receipt used to be known as a franchise and gross receipt tax previously on your bill that utility companies bills to the residents, public service, JCP&L. And the reason behind is that municipality are not allowed to do property tax on all the wires, lines, underground lines from all these utility companies. So state came up with this franchise and gross receipt tax.
Yes, sir.
At some point, they change it to energy tax receipt and lower the rate charged to public on that. It used to be around 11, 12%, is now 6%. But the real problem has been is that this revenue we've been getting from state has been frozen since 2006, 8.
Wow.
About $6 million is what we get,
Really?
but it's frozen. Even if the state collects more money, they siphon all additional money and they don't give any increase to municipality. Originally it was designed just for municipality.
Yes, sir.
Then they said, oh, we're going to collect and distribute. Then, 1, 2 years, they distribute 100%. Then they started taking piece of that money. Now, majority of the money goes to support state budget.
Really?
And the municipality is left hung out to dry by not getting enough money to the municipality. No increase.
But aren't the utilities themselves raising prices to the customer?
They're raising prices to customer. They're increased customers, all of those things. So certainly there is a increase in a revenue. But state keeps all those increase and gives every municipality what they got 15 years back.
Really?
And it's a pet
That
peeve amongst
doesn't
many
quite seem fair, does it,
mayors.
Mayor?
Yes, yes. On our trips to Trenton, many mayors get up and speak out against it, that we should be getting more. That, as Himanshu said, it was designed to help the municipalities' budgets and
Yes,
lower
sir.
the taxes
Yeah.
at the local level, but the state now has taken that money and paying for their programs out of that.
And let the state suffer, the township suffer a little bit.
Yes.
Okay. Mayor, how much of a total budget is raised by taxes?
About 36 million
Yep.
we raise out of the $60.2 million budget. We collect about 36 million in taxes. The rest of it has to be generated through revenues, other sources of income.
Right. And how much? Yeah, go on, please. You were going to say something.
We are about 56.94% of the total revenue in taxes. And generally, when you look at surrounding towns, majority of the towns are over 60%. And this distinction was reviewed when we had a review with Moody's thing. So it's important to know that we're collecting actually less in tax revenue to support budget versus many other towns.
Okay. How do you add to the money that you collect in taxes? How do you get the other revenue? Where does that come
The other
from?
revenue is what we talked about, energy tax receipt of $6
Yes,
million. There are miscellaneous revenue fees and permits that a municipality is allowed to charge. And so it makes up everything else. And then there is what's known as surplus. There's a lot of times they talk about surplus and fund balance, synonymous. And in my budget presentation, and it's on a website, you'll see a detailed explanation of what is a fund balance.
Yes,
Fund
sir.
balance is basically savings account. Just like you have a savings account at home,
Yes, sir.
it's the same thing. What we do is we save money through either collecting more revenue or lowering expenses and actually spent money. All of those becomes a fund balance, and then we use that as a surplus in the budget, give it back to the taxpayer.
Okay. And the state has to approve all of this, as you just alluded to.
That's right. Our budget review is a review process done by state. There is a very detailed review by State Division of Local Government Services, and that's when, until they approve the budget, we can't adopt the budget. And we
Really?
did get approval from the state this year also.
And that's a formal process, Mayor?
Yes, yes. It's something that the state reviews all our numbers, and then they give it their blessing, and then we're allowed to adopt it. And they did give our budget the blessing this year,
Okay.
as they've done in the past.
Is this a formality or is it a really rigid review?
It is very rigid
Very
review.
rigid, yes.
They go every single things. There are laws, statutes that they look
Really?
at it saying, hey, we have complied to those things. And then they come back with a lot of notes. We have to respond to them. And it goes back and forth about 3 or 4 times, different questions, answers. And then they finally say, okay, you're good to adopt.
Really, who directs this or who chairs this at the state level? What department?
It's Department of Community Affairs, and the division is the Local Government Services. They oversee all municipal budgeting operation.
Okay. Okay, Mayor, that's a bit of a challenge, huh?
Yes, it
Make
is.
sure
but
you get all
I
your-
enjoy it. I really do enjoy the finances.
You really do.
Yes.
As someone who used to prepare a lot of marketing budgets, I never really enjoyed the marketing budget process every year. Have to go through all these.
Well, we've seen the transformation, Gene. When I took over the reins of the town, it was really in poor financial.
Yeah.
Couldn't make payroll. Was not investing in the residents. There was no capital, and one of my goals was to change that.
Right.
And we worked hard every year for now. This is the 11th year that we've prepared a budget, and we are going. We fixed it, and we continue to go in the right direction. As I said, despite all the hardships that we face.
Yeah. Okay, Mayor, thank you. Folks, we're getting ready to take a break right now. We're sitting with Himanshu Shah, who is our Director of Finance and our Business Administrator, and we're reviewing for your benefit the 2022 municipal budget that was just recently passed by the council. Please stay with us, and we'll be back in a moment.
Baby, you see, you're so right for me, and I'm right for you. I love the things you do, like sweet tasting wine. Your lips are so divine. Your loving turns me on. My lonely days are gone. That's why I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna let you go. Babe, I'm never gonna let you go. No, no, never gonna let you go. Baby, never gonna let you go. Never gonna let you go. Babe, I'm never
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
gonna let you go.
Dad,
Just 1 minute, okay?
hey Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
The COVID-19 vaccines can be our chance to get back to our plans, who we are, what we miss, to get back to each other, to life. But it's okay to have questions, like, how were the vaccines tested? In rigorous clinical trials among adults of diverse backgrounds. Can the vaccines give you COVID-19? You cannot get COVID-19 from a vaccine. Why should I get vaccinated? Protecting yourself also helps protect the people around you. Find the latest information at getvaccineanswers.org.
listen, you're my friend.
I noticed you haven't really been yourself recently.
Yeah, I feel like something's up.
How are you?
Are you okay?
Is there anything you want to talk about?
I just want to know how you're feeling.
And listen, even if you don't know what to say, I'm here to talk.
No matter what you're going through,
I just want you to know I'm here.
I've got your back. When you want to talk, I'm here.
Hi folks, welcome back to Aldridge Outlook with Mayor Owen Henry. Today we're reviewing the 2022 Township budget that was recently passed by the council. Our guest is Himanshu Shah, who is our Director of Finance and our Business Administrator. Himanshu, if we may pick up where we left off, we were talking a lot about revenue earlier. Could we touch a little bit on expenses?
Sure.
What you have to spend
And
out of this money?
I don't want to bore you with every single dollar, but I will tell you in general terms that 63% of our budget is for the, that includes salaries, benefit for employees. So it's an employee cost is 63% of our total budget. Public safety is about 43.7% of that 63%. So our focus has always been more on public safety. That's an important thing and an important goal for us to maintain the safety in the town. So that's a critical number.
How much, if I may, public safety being the police department?
The police department and OEM, Office of Emergency Management, that includes that, yeah. About 9% is in debt service, which is basically amortization of our capital programs. We borrow money for that. And generally, Moody's and rating agency and everybody says if you're below 10%, you're in good shape in that. Because otherwise you take significant of your budget operating expenses into the debt service. So we maintain that in a good shape. And 18% of all other expenses includes recycling, snow removal cost, road maintenance, parks maintenance, various recreation program, various department operation that includes administration, finance. So it's considering very small small portion. Now remember, we are service industry.
Right.
We provide service. So the labor cost is always going to be higher in a service industry. So that's just an overview of our budget. Now, there's a lot more detail in our presentation that was done at the council. It's on our website, and a complete budget is on our website.
Okay, Himanshu, after we clear away everything, what is the impact residents are going to feel on their property taxes?
The average homeowner is about $157,000 is the average assessed value to homeowners. It's about $28 increase. I mean, it's not even a dollar. Really? It's only $28 for average homeowners. So that's a real impact. The last 2 years, we didn't raise any tax. This year, we have about 1.01% increase in our taxes. Now remember, state has imposed caps on municipality.
Yes, sir.
We have a 2% levy cap, but we have, I don't believe in the last 10 years we have gone up to 2%. We always stayed below 2%, just like this year. So that's an important factor the public needs to know.
Yes, sir. How about the Moody ratings? I know you've always placed great emphasis on the Moody ratings. How does this
It's one of my pet peeves. I always want to make sure we have a highest rating possible.
Yes, sir.
The township enjoys AA1 ratings. And when you have such a high rating, you pay a lot less cost in interest and financing all those capital projects. For example, we just sold $12.5 million bond for 11 years. We achieve rate of 2.58%. I mean, that's very small cost to finance all the capital project. So that's the rating is very important. Now, AA1 is about one notch below AAA, the highest rating you can get. And I've been trying years. Finally, Moody's did consider us this year for AAA. But one of the there are a couple of issues that is preventing us. One is the state management of our pension and what is called OPEB, post liability related to employee health insurance cost. We have a significant cost. Now, we've been working over years with our unions, and they are working with us in bringing down that cost as much as we can. And hopefully someday we'll achieve the AAA crown.
Okay.
But it's important, Gene, to realize
Yeah.
that we are getting, I believe, AAA
Rates, yes.
You know, and they haven't given us the title AAA, but when I look, as Mr. Shah had mentioned, the 2.58s, if you look, AAA towns, that's what they're getting. So that's just as important that the lending institutions are looking at us as a AAA town.
Yes, sir. And I think in light of what Himanshu has just mentioned, and the rate seems to be so modest considering what you had discussed about the past year or two, what's taken place with COVID and everything else, it's been a great strain on the whole capital.
We've seen our expenses have gone up, just like everybody else. Inflation impacts the town.
Yes, sir.
We're a service provider, as Mr. Shah said. We have the largest amount of police officers that we've had over the last 25 years. Our Public Works Department has grown. Our Parks and Recreation Department have grown to make sure we get these services out to the community and provide public safety in a town in this large. So our costs have gone up, but at the same time, we've been able to maintain the impact on the taxpayers.
Okay,
And
that's
it says so much about the management team we have in place here.
It sure does. Mayor, could we come back to one of your favorite projects, I think, and that's Control Farm. How are we progressing there? Where do
We are.
stand?
You've seen a lot of progress over the last couple of months. Once winter broke, a lot of activity on the site. They're doing what we all call the site work now, the parking lot, access to and from the site. The buildings are completed pretty much, about 99% inside the buildings. Now they're just doing the outside, getting it ready for the public to gain access to the site. And that is big. Stormwater management, all the earth moving equipment, and building the parking lot, stabilizing all the curbing is going in. So there's a lot going on right now as we speak. And they're moving. Every day I go there, I see something different.
Yeah, something, when you pass every day, something else is going on.
And that's just one of the great things, one of the many things that are happening all over the town.
Yeah,
so.
Definitely is. It'll be a winner when it gets done.
Yeah, we can't wait.
Yeah,
Mayor, one last thing. I'm sorry,
if I may
yes.
just add
Yeah, sure,
to
please.
what Mayor says, and those are the phase 1, phase 2, and the really phase 3 is where we're going to start with splash park, playground, prefabricated restroom, hardscape, landscaping, and additional walking paths. So there's going to be some walking path in this phase 2, but there's going to be more walking path added in phase 3. And I just want to let the public know that we got $2.2 million in Green Acres funding on this project, grants we have received. So that's a less cost to the taxpayer.
Okay.
And we're going to continue to look for additional
Yes.
grants as they become available. So
Okay.
we
Mayor,
want to see it completed.
Pardon?
I want it
See
completed.
it complete. Yes, I'm sure you do. Mayor, one last thing before we go. Capital budget.
Yes.
Always a big piece. A lot of
So
activity
important,
going
Gene.
on.
Again, it's so important to invest back into the community.
Yes, sir.
What does that do? It makes our infrastructure more modern, not subject to failure. It increases property values. It just makes the town better when you invest. And this year, historic amount has been invested, over $10 million.
$10 million.
We've never had that much invested.
Really?
And
Yeah.
this year, I think, is important to state the fact that I think half of that money is other people's money. We're using that through grants or alternate funding sources.
Yes, sir.
It's not from the borrowing that we go out
Yes.
with the rating and borrow so that we can do those $5 million worth of improvements. We're getting $10 million this year.
Mayor, what is involved in capital spending so residents have an idea?
Well, this year we focused a
where does
little
the
over
money go?
$7 million into parks, roads, drainage, curbs, and the rest is equipment, facilities improvements. But the focus this year was parks and recreation to get these parks where they should be.
Okay.
So not only Cottrell Park, but the Mamino Park too. We want to focus on getting that to be also built out eventually. It's been just too long where we have all that space that needs, and we need the fields. The fields are in demand in town.
Are they really?
Yes.
Yeah.
We have a big demand for fields.
Okay.
Gene,
Yes, Himanshu, yes, please.
if I may just add, one of
Please.
the new project that we're focusing now, as Cottrell Farm is going along, is the community center, or what you call Parks and Recreation building at the beachfront in Lawrence Harbor. It's in a design phase. We're going to start looking for funding to support construction of that community center at the Lawrence Harbor beachfront.
Okay.
And that's big. That'd be the first, I think, construction of a building by the town since probably the library was built.
Yeah.
And in that area,
Yes.
you know, it's a diamond in the rough, Lawrence Harbor with the view of Manhattan.
Yes, sir.
We have conceptual plans of a 2-story building with open frontage and decks, and really going to be a really nice building.
Okay. Well,
Looking
thank
forward
you,
to that.
Mayor. And Himanshu, thank you for coming in.
Thank you, Gene.
Folks, we've been reviewing the 2022 Township budget that has recently been passed by the Township Council. It is available on the website. If you want to pick apart all the details, you can take a look there. Meanwhile, Himanshu, again, thanks for contributing today. And people, this has
Thank you
been
for inviting.
Old Bridge Outlook for this time. I'm Gene McLoughlin. Please stay tuned to Channel 15, and we'll see you again next time. Take care.
It takes less than 1 minute to find out if you may have prediabetes. You can do it here. But you probably won't. You're busy. Kids, work, show coming back in 48 seconds. So let's do this now. Hold up 1 finger if you're a man, women, 0. 3 more fingers if you're over 60, 2 over 50, 1 over 40. If you're not sure, keep in mind you're sitting on a couch right now, so 1 more finger if you're not very active. 1 finger if yes, 0 if no. 1 yes, 0 no. Next, find the body type that looks most like you and hold up that many fingers while I look around awkwardly. And that's it. If you're holding up 5 fingers or more, you probably have prediabetes. Sorry to be so blunt, but hey, you're busy. Just go to the site.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping. Maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.